Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you for asking.
I'm so excited. I'm so like stupid excited.
You couldn't have been more excited than me because I'm like, okay, this is great. And
Yeah.
I got to read it, experience some things that I can't wait to ask
Oh
about.
yeah. Let's jump into it. I'm ready.
Oh, trust me, I will. I will.
Oh my gosh. So whatever. So I guess we'll just say this is my interview for the author challenge, which is kind of funny. Our names are backwards.
Yeah. Well, we were just trying to do a different style.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what we're going to
So
go with, you know.
that's what we're gonna go with. Yeah,
We're
yeah.
being
We did it as a
creative.
purpose. Yeah.
Yes.
so, so the really awesome thing about my friend Valerie interviewing me is
Mhm.
she is the very first person that laid eyes on my book Endurance. Before it was ever a book, before it was anything, we were in the sixth grade and she kept nagging me, right. I'm, I'm starting this group. You need to write. I was like, I ain't got nothing to write about. And then I sat there in science class, not paying attention.
Yeah, that is true. Yes, yes.
Yeah, and wrote out this whole book. Well, not a whole
Yeah,
book. It was the
meaning,
first one of it.
because she didn't have anything to write about,
I
though,
had nothing to write about. I was just jotting stuff down.
but it was
Yeah.
surely was a whole book, though. I'm just saying, you know. So, what aside from did you inspire to continue writing?
It was okay. So I wrote up until we started right before we were about to start high school. We both graduated early from middle school, right?
Correct.
Because we
Yeah,
never went. Yeah.
yeah. We went
So
from sixth to ninth.
like yeah.
Yeah.
So right before I started, I was trying to write, and I kept feeling like I was writing the same thing over and over again, and
Hmm.
I didn't know anything. And I decided I'm going to stop because I have no life experience,
Well,
and I'm just going to get into high school. And I got into high school, and I didn't pick up the pen, so to say again. Well, yeah, literally the pen until I was like 33.
so in that from that time till now, what changed from then till now that made you start
Oh,
looking back again?
well, I said I didn't have life experience, right? Oh,
Correct.
April went and got herself into some trouble. April got
Uh-oh.
herself.
I guess those would
I
be
have
life experiences.
yes. I had my first baby at 16,
Okay.
17 technically. And then I got married twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um
Interesting.
right. In my second marriage is when it was weird. I started having like this feeling like I should write.
Okay.
And it just like each day it got worse. And my sister would tell me, you need
Hmm.
to write, you need to write. And
Hmm.
I was like, what again? What am I gonna write about?
Well, you've had enough experience by then.
Yeah, yeah. But like now it was like there was too much experience. I don't know where to start. So I really struggled with what to write. I didn't think about writing endurance at first. So one day I sat down at my laptop
Hmm.
and I started to write this story. I just throwing up a paper, just see what comes up, and on the computer, and I wrote a paragraph, and it was so intense for me that I ended
Hmm.
up getting nauseous, feeling like I was going to throw up on the keyboard, and I
Oh,
ran.
wow.
Yeah. It turns out that section that I wrote was a snippet about an abused woman named Dolores.
Okay. Okay.
I've never been in that situation before. I don't know what it was like. There's so much emotions that came out at once.
Hmm.
I couldn't deal, and I ran, and I ran where I fell. Okay, I'm just gonna tell it out to everybody. I fell, busted
Oh,
my butt.
no. Well, that's okay because I fall a lot also, so it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's okay.
So we do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You good.
So I felt and like I was like, I mean, I had like hot flashes. Like that was the first
Oh.
time I didn't know what a hot flash was, but that was a hot flash. Like I was
You were
suddenly
still using
sweating.
life, you know?
Yeah. Yes.
There you go.
So yeah. So I didn't write after that again for like 2 months.
So now endurance, I'll know you had writing it prior. So
Mm-hmm.
when you started rewriting and uh, updating it, what
So
made you really put it out? Like,
to
you
put
know,
it, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I when I wrote it, it was like, okay. I started writing in a notepad, like how we do the
Yeah,
pen and the paper, old school. I started
yeah,
doing it
right.
that way, and
Yeah.
like I couldn't put it down. And I would
Hmm.
even start dreaming the characters, dreaming dialogue, like them having conversations. My hand in the middle of the night would do this. I would wake up to my hand doing that. So I'm like,
Because you're
I gotta
already the pen of a ready writer. Yeah.
yes. So I ended up sitting down and writing like 10,000 words. Oh, I couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep up on a notepad anymore.
Correct. Yeah.
So I went on the computer and I was writing 10,000 words a day.
So you were a court reporter, writer.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't
Okay.
ask me to
Yeah.
go in court and type nothing though. I'll be like,
Uh,
you said what?
That'll be a different, you give him a different story. Yeah.
Right. I'll zone out and start listening.
So now, when you did, finish the book,
Hmm.
what was your process?
Oh gosh, that's where the hard part was. Writing a book was easy. The hard part was
Okay.
what the mistakes that I made was I thought when you hired a vanity publishing company. Back then I didn't know it was vanity publishing. I thought it was a publisher. I thought like a
Okay.
traditional publisher. I didn't understand.
Mhm.
So I went to this company. I'm not gonna say the company's name,
Right.
but I went to this company and I thought that in the package that they gave me included editing. I thought that was a part of it because I thought there's no way they're going to put a book out there that's not edited. That's impossible. Yeah, I was that naive. So it wasn't until it wasn't until uh gosh, what the hell? It wasn't until I think right before the book got published. Wait, hold on. Did you freeze? I think she froze. Let me see. Okay, yeah, she froze. Just gonna go back in. That looks. Ooh, I like that. Ooh. Vanille Smith. Ugh. Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, I like both of them.
Yeah,
Okay. It's okay. That's why we pre record. That's fine.
thank God.
That's fine. Yeah, that's why we pre record. That's fine. Okay, so then
And I
let's
was
just
like,
pick
okay,
up two.
oh, maybe that's her. Yeah.
Yeah. No, because, yeah, I didn't know if it was mine or not. So it could be.
Okay. No, well, we worked it out.
Yeah. Okay, so what
So,
were we picking back up?
so I said, what? After you finished writing the book,
Mm-hmm.
what was your process?
Oh, in the process. Okay, yeah, that's what I
For
said.
for publishing?
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so after I wrote the book, my process is I hired a company that I thought was a traditional publishing company,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that it included editing in the package.
Mm.
It did not, and I found out the day before it was already scheduled to be released.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So me continuing in my ignorant self and them not really fully explaining what
To
was
think
about
they
to
would
happen
have.
to me. Yeah.
Right.
um It went online, of course, to Amazon. The book cover, I thought that they would be doing a book cover. Apparently, it's just like the everything that I thought that they would do. I found out
Mhm.
that they expected me to do it, and I'm thinking, what did I just pay you $3,000 for?
Correct. Absolutely. That
Yeah,
was going to be my
yeah,
next question.
yeah.
So for authors out there, or actually writers, what would be
Hmm.
your advice to them first time writing, even, you know, people that have been writing for a while?
I know it's hard. See, what I don't like is other authors, veteran self-published authors, don't talk to new upcoming authors. Meaning they'll
Mhm.
come and they'll ask for help, and they just kind of
Mhm.
blow them off, and that pisses me off because share what you know. Like, don't they tend to treat everybody as a competition. It's not
Right.
competition because we're not always writing about the same thing, you know.
Absolutely. I agree
And
with that.
I said we could all write about Cinderella. Our point of views are going to be very different, you know.
Correct. That's definitely true. That's an
Yeah,
excellent point.
yeah.
Now, when I
So, mhm.
endurance,
What
and
happened?
my question was in the editing process.
Hmm.
Did you find it difficult for you to understand what was written, or did they
Uh,
have questions, about
oh,
what's in the meat of the book?
well, I didn't. Well, okay. Well, my editing alone was a journey. That book,
Mhm.
Endurance, has been edited. I lost count how many times it's been edited. I I couldn't tell you. And what I learned in that is that sometimes people say they're an editor when actually they're a proofreader.
Correct.
And a proofreader is somebody you need at the very end after
Mhm.
an editor,
Mhm.
and they
Right.
just make sure the storyline flows. So these are all these things I learned from
Mhm.
my book. Um, but with my book, and you know, like with an urban fiction, you have slang and things like that. You do
Correct.
have to
Yeah.
be careful of who you pick to edit your book. If they don't understand, like for urban fiction authors, they need urban fiction editors or editors that understand the
Absolutely.
slang and things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, did you
Um,
find that hard to find someone to edit?
back back
Yes.
then, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, very hard. And you know, and that's what I said. I got scammed a lot.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, I went to this company, which is now called KDP Prints, but way back in the
Oh,
days,
yes, I've heard of them. Yes.
yeah, no, way back in the days, they were called, first they were called Book Surge.
Okay.
When I started with them, they were called Book Surge. I started with them just as they were converting, they were turning into Create Space. And
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, I was with them since they were like called Book Surge. And I loved it. I
Okay,
love that
okay,
company. Yeah.
okay.
They're the ones that opened my eyes talking to one of the agents there. They said, look, you can publish your book for free if you take the time to learn all the steps. That's what they taught me.
And you
And at
then
this,
you took those steps.
I did. I mean, that was like the best advice I got was from that agent. He says, he goes, the most you can pay is like $25 to have it published. He goes, but it's the most expensive thing is editing. And they,
Okay.
at that time, their editing would have cost me like, it probably would have been a couple $1,000 because the book
Okay.
is over 100,000 words.
Right, right.
It
So
was
now
something like, yeah, yeah.
with the 100,000 words, were you able to, let's say for example, were you able to find an editor that was able to understand what it is that they're editing? Because remember, this is the West Indian culture, and so are they
Okay.
winging
So
it?
the first version, because it's also been updated many times. So the
Right.
first version was probably not that bad for them when it
Okay.
comes to that, because I was afraid to put our West Indian culture in the book because I was scared that people wouldn't be able to relate to it. They wouldn't understand it
Okay.
because it's like a niche for us, like,
Right.
it's just our
Correct.
community. Our community would love it. But so at
Absolutely.
that time I was scared because I'm thinking, oh, it's going out to the public, you
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
Um
Will they
it wasn't
understand
till this,
you? Yeah.
right. So I that's also why in the version before this one I explained a lot. about
Yes.
like Max's family. He came from in the new version that I sent
Yeah.
you. It doesn't
Hmm.
explain that much. It's just Max talking about it a little bit, and that's it. In
Well,
the
I
original
also
version,
noticed the
hmm
beginning, it had the vocabulary, which is
yeah,
helpful, and I
yes,
was like,
yes,
that's
yes,
smart because people that pick it up, if they're not from a West Indian background
yeah.
and they
They're not
still
gonna
want
get
to
that.
read it, they
Yeah,
having that was a smart,
yes, yeah. I was
yeah.
gonna put a little bit more words, but I figured I'd try to keep to
Hmm.
the words that was used more that they could kind of figure out. Did they get the hang of
Right,
it? Because
right.
it's still English,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's
That's
yeah,
I mean, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So um, yeah, I put that in there. Put a little. I'm trying to get them. I want them to feel like they're either in South Florida or
Hmm.
like they're in Florida in a West Indian community or they're in Trinidad. Like I
Yeah,
want them to
yeah.
feel it. So yeah, I this one I went heavy with it. The one
Hmm.
before I was still afraid. I was kind of more explaining what Trinidad is, where
Right.
Trinidad is, just explain. And then I decided I'm gonna stop explaining and just show.
Which
And
is good. Yeah.
yeah. And so that's why you have that one conversation with Max and his brother, his
Right.
stepbrother. Yeah, which because I thought like he sees Max in this way, he's probably thinking everybody from the island's like that, and
And it's
no.
not, no, and everybody has a different personality, whether you're
Yeah.
from the islands or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So now
So.
my next question for you is for your audience. We know that we're trying to reach the West Indian audience, but
Hmm.
were you comfortable if you reached a broader audience,
Yeah.
or were you comfortable with being criticized if
Yeah.
you wrote a certain way?
Oh yeah. I kind of expected it.
Hmm.
I kind of expected. I figured. I was kind of like some people are probably gonna be like, "What is this? This is just bad grammar. Why would you put this in here?"
Right, right.
Yeah. Or to even like I don't know how far you got into the book, but there's a in the beginning
Mhm.
of the book it has that one little quote from Michaela where she
Yes.
says, "I speak four languages."
Yeah. I was like, uh-oh. She's letting you know.
She's letting you know
Foreshadowing.
that was your warning. So yeah.
And so when I was reading it, I liked how it was very visual, very descriptive.
Oh, good.
And when I was reading the first line, I was like, because it kept you engaged.
Good.
So
Yeah.
then as I'm reading, I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen next?
Yeah.
So you have endurance, and I'm like, first of all, excellent. Okay, the
Thank
cover,
you.
I that was a nice fit
Yeah.
to it, and I said to myself, if you had to do it over again, if you had to rewrite it,
Hmm.
would you change
Hmm.
anything?
No, I wouldn't change anything. I would probably. I don't even think there's anything to add anymore because this last time I did it, I feel like there's parts of the story that I left out when I first wrote it
Hmm.
that I got it now.
Right, right.
Yeah, I got it now. So I don't think there's anything that not that I could think of. It'd probably be
So
bigger.
that's what I was going to ask you. Would it be bigger? Would you
Yeah.
make it? Now, my next question is: aside from endurance,
Hmm.
did you think about making it a movie?
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
is that in the making?
I
And have you
I
done research for that?
I have I've been researching that for a while. And I
Okay.
and there was another reason why I did a revision because I felt like the last version was too much telling of the story
Hmm.
in the beginning before
Hmm.
it really got active. And movie wise, you kind of want to have more action and showing and stuff like that. So that was another reason why I wanted to revise it. But yeah, I do have some people in mind. It's just getting the message out there to get enough a strong enough following. So because I know most producers they won't look to put your book into a movie or anything
Hmm.
until it had like a million book sales or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Now, let me ask you a question. As a writer,
mhm.
publisher, I know when I did my first book, because this is a revision, this
Mm-hmm.
new one is a revision of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I did not do a lot of marketing,
Mm.
but I did have, some sales.
Right.
Would you say that that if you marketed more, you would have more sales if you uh, took more time to, birth that baby? What would it?
Yeah, I think what we have to do is we have to find what our niche is. So, for example, um, I'm looking into actually supporting organizations that are um, helping abused girls, girls
Okay,
who've been molested, girls who've been raped, runaways, things like that, because it ties in with my book, with what
absolutely.
happened to
Yes.
me. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think you should look for things that tie into with the community. Like for your book example, I would look into like shelters.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
there's a lot of organizations that are trying to save pit bulls, or
Right.
change. Yeah, things like that. I think we have to kind of. I always say like think out of the outside of the box.
Mhm.
It's not just sometimes it comes around back to your book, but there's things you can do. Like you can even set up where 10% of your proceeds from your book, whatever, goes to this
That's a
pet
good idea.
pit bull lovers, kind of thing,
Right.
things like that. Like I think it's just we have to find our marketing needs to be centered around the theme of our book, the topics of our book.
Correct. Speaking
So
of the
yeah,
topic of the book, why
mhm.
did you choose endurance as the title?
I was first gonna call it Rebirth.
Okay. Well, that
Yeah. Remember how you have a
okay.
name, right?
Yeah. Mm, yeah. We were like, we're not using those names
We're
now.
not even gonna
Yeah,
know.
no, let's try again.
Yeah, I was gonna call it Rebirth, but endurance fit because I thought about for me it was May.
Okay.
She endured a lot. She endured a
Hmm.
lot for a long time, from basically
Right.
since the age she was a 5. She's
Right.
been enduring a lot of crap. So, and what I like about May is when you come to the end of the story, May found
Mhm.
her voice. Like halfway through, she starts
Right.
snapping
Being
back.
more vocal and more,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Max is like, "Oh, I created a monster."
He's like, oh boy, but he likes that monster.
He likes
So
that monster.
yeah. So
Yeah.
now, with what made you come up with this awesome idea that you came up with the social or the partner for us writers?
That I had to give all the credit to God.
Okay.
I was just sitting around thinking, in the islands, in our community, when we want to buy a car, when we want to buy a house or something,
Yeah.
we throw hands, we throw hands. That throw hands is a different concept. I
I
mean,
well, hey, still
we
throw
throw hands.
hands
Yeah,
now.
throw hands if the money don't come.
Right, right.
Yeah, no. But we joined a susu, and I was like, and I just started like that whole line of thought came in. How could we do that with books? How can
Right.
we make it where because I don't like that we don't support each other as much as we should. We don't.
Absolutely. Like you
Yeah.
said, it's almost like it's a challenge, but it
Right.
isn't a challenge because we all write different genres.
Right.
And
Yeah.
even if we wrote in the same genre,
It's still different.
our voices are different.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
with this, what all do you do aside from writing and
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Well, I'm in college
Okay.
for business.
Congratulations.
Um, thank you. I don't know if my professors feel that way, but
Are you
they're like,
almost
"Oh
done?
Lord, huh?" Well,
Are you almost
I just so I'm almost done with my associates. I'm
okay?
trying to. I haven't decided. I know I want to get my master's. I
Okay.
don't know and I think I might go all the way up to say get the doctorate. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm a
I
late
stopped.
bloomer.
I
Yeah,
stopped at the master that
you
I
stopped
just
at the
got
master's.
January 25th. I did.
Yeah.
I think my bachelor's was the hardest for me to get because I was working 3 jobs and going to school.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
wow.
yeah.
Good.
My
Good.
boss was encouraging me, go to school. And I was like, I'm
You
glad
want to
that
do my
I
homework?
and I
Yeah.
finished. Yeah. So
Uh,
I think you'll make it. Well, I know
yeah.
you'll make it. Yeah, you'll make it.
You-
Mhm.
yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about doing. And then aside from that, I have a company called Greenleaf Health, where Greenleaf Health, where we make herbal supplements and skincare, hair care products. And then that led to Panda Magazine, where it's a quarterly magazine. Yeah, we I like to do different topics.
Mhm.
Um, the next upcoming topic is kind of like it's kind of like Black History, but I
Okay.
want to do like just I want to basically it's like collecting the stories of our past. I want
That's
like real stories so we could yeah we don't forget you
I
know
remember you were interviewing someone, I think it was either last week or the week before, and I remember you saying, you wanted to get the history, not just of us, but
yeah
history in general.
yeah
And my question to you is, do you feel that we should have Black history every day? Or like 360, not 365, but yeah, every day.
every day. I do.
Mhm.
I don't actually. I'm not a fan of it may sound wrong me saying this, but I still have to explain. I'm not a
Mhm.
fan of how they have Black History Month. It's the shortest month
Month
of the
of
year,
February. I absolutely
right?
agree with that.
And
That
then they have Native American History Month in the month of that's Thanksgiving, which to me is
right,
just you're making a mockery, you know.
right.
Yes, the upside is yes, it's a time where people actually will pay attention to Black history and Native American history. But I think it should be something that's taught every day. I think it
I
should. It's
agree.
a part of history. Period.
I totally agree because I always say that we shouldn't be boxed in a month, and
Right.
the month that's the shortest,
Yes.
and there's so much more of
So
it to
much.
celebrate.
Yes.
So, and then we being authors,
Yeah.
that's something that we should celebrate and let our, because I have a my department head at where I work at.
Mm-hmm.
He wants me to do a reading at the school that he used to work at, and he
Oh.
said that would be excellent because they're kids and
Mm-hmm.
they get excited over a Black author, and I'm like, oh, okay. And
Mm-hmm.
he was like, I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So, in my mind, I'm like, that February, month of February is too short for us.
It's too short. It's
Yeah.
already over.
It was over when before it began. So now with your magazine, you
Right.
know,
Right.
how are you
Mm-hmm.
marketing it so more people know that it's out there?
So I use like the social media like Facebook ads, I use Instagram,
Mhm.
and then the websites. But I and then we give away a lot of free copies of the first one.
Okay. Okay.
Um, because there's that period of people just trying to get to know you, basically know what is this about and stuff like that. I'm also battling, or all of us are actually battling that the fact that in our country we're having less and less readers,
I was just
which is a
going
serious
to
problem.
mention that. I was going to say from when we were growing up till now, reading is
Hmm.
the least important, and they can just pull it up online or what have you, or just not read at all.
Yeah, not read
So
at all. Yeah.
that kind of put does that kind of put your book at a disadvantage, or do you just think
I think that was another reason that led me to revision. I think we have to make our writing very engaging. Um, I put I put up a lot of pictures, a lot of colored pictures in it. And I know it sounds silly to
Mhm.
have colored pictures in adult books,
Yeah,
but
visual.
but you want that visual effect. So I try to think of, and then I try to have more spacing in between the words a little bit
Okay.
because it gives the eyes a rest. I'm trying to make it where it's comfortable to read, it's enjoyable to look at, it's beautiful, so that it's a whole experience, and then that would kind of encourage them to keep reading and reading and reading. So that's my hope. I think we have to look at just think about why people don't want to read. Why is it?
Mhm.
And I'll ask some people. It's really like I'll even go to Barnes Noble. I'll pick up books and I'll find, okay, what made me put the book down? That's the first question I'll
Right.
ask myself after I put the book down. Well, what made me
Put it
stop
down.
reading? Yeah, and sometimes it's because of the way it's formatted. The
And
words are too much on one piece of paper, and then the color of the paper. I didn't like the color of the paper. It's silly things, but I say
no,
this.
it makes sense,
Yeah, yeah. Because for me, I'm one of those people that don't really like to read. I that's
Most writers, I don't
shame.
think they like to read, though. That's the funny part.
Okay,
We
good. I'm
just
not
want to
alone.
write, and
We want
then
to
we
write.
say, "Here, read it." Um,
Yeah, yeah. Let somebody else read it.
so now, next question for you:
Mhm.
with the process of everything that you've written and published, how do you feel about the outcome of each written project that you've done?
That's a good question. So this is a funny thing. Like every year, I would go over and read my books, and this is what told me that I had growth when
Hmm.
I would read them. I would think, "Oh, this is great. There's nothing wrong with it. I love it. I'm enjoying the story. I'm having fun. I don't see
Right,
nothing wrong. Little grammar
right,
things or whatever hiccups. I didn't see nothing. I didn't see it.
right.
It wasn't until, and I don't know. I have to say, maybe it's college. Maybe college is really, and this is why I know people talk bad about college sometimes, but honestly, I think
It
if you
helps.
apply it correctly, it can help. So
Absolutely.
when I went back and I started thinking about my book, something kept nagging me. I didn't know what it was. And I pay attention to how I feel. Whenever I feel like I don't want to be associated with my book, something's wrong. Something's
Right.
wrong.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started literally looking in and I said, let me just reread this. And I started rereading Endurance. And I love this story. It hooks you. It's just the
Right.
characters. I love it. But what I realized is that one, I was telling a lot of the story and not showing, especially in the
Hmm.
beginning. I didn't know. Remember when I wrote that, I didn't know how to write
Right.
anything. There's no
Right.
rule. So what I realized is like this could be so much better if I explain, show instead of tell certain things with May, and it just started from there. So yeah, whenever you notice you feel uneasy about your book, it's probably because you grew. And
Absolutely.
there's things go back and look. Now it's not always. It could be simple things. And
Right.
then that book was edited so many times, and there was still grammatical errors,
Right.
which is another issue. And this is what I learned that I would love.
Rainai ha ukulai natra. Shika e unasa. Iki unaya kina bunsa. Sakinar aga lainar tayin. Pukitai kunaya tinainai. Pukitai kubunji hasa. Trapo natra kumbak a unai. Ija unai. Kiki lani unai. Unardako nazabun.
To share with people. Self-editing is a hell of a thing.
You'll edit it and they'll be fine.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah,
else edit it and they'll say, "Didn't you see that?"
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because
Yeah.
your eyes autocorrect. That's the other
Of course.
problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
So
autocorrect somebody else's book, but you can't do yours.
yes, yes. But see, what I learned is if I had taken the time to let it rest, do like I put it through Grammarly, I
Yeah.
put it through Microsoft Word. I read it because reading you'll catch things. I put it down, let your eyes rest for 2 weeks, and read it again. And I do all those things, and you'll be surprised. It'll go to the editor, and you'll be surprised. You'll still find stuff. It's just that it's a lot of words,
Well,
like in our
normally,
eyes.
well, um, I found that the Grammarly software, and I'm not trying to put them down.
Mm.
Uh, what is the
You
politically
do.
correct?
You.
Uh, let's just say I
Stop.
removed Grammarly. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, I've heard people are using Pro Writing 8 or something
okay,
like that. They said for fiction writing, it's really good. And
okay.
there's one called Hemingway. I think with Grammarly, I don't know. You have to know how Grammarly works. You don't accept all of their suggestions. That's what I've learned. So it
Yeah,
has you sounding. It'll have the story sounding very kind of stiff or
right.
strange, right?
Because
So
I
I
think
don't
it's just
accept
for
everything.
grammar. I think it's
Yeah,
more for grammar purposes more than writing, because writing has
yeah.
different styles.
That's why
So,
they like the pro writing. Pro writing is more for fiction. It's what I'm
okay.
hearing. That it's better with fiction. Same amount, but I think it's a little cheaper also. But I
Okay.
think you can't put in as many words
Mm.
like Grammarly. I'll put in my chapters are about 2,000 plus words. So yeah, I didn't know where to end that chapter.
You're like, "No, I'm just gonna keep going."
So keep going. They got all night.
Right.
Yeah.
So, my next question for you is, with all of the books that you've written
Mhm.
and everything that you do from writing, you also do editing, right?
For myself. I haven't really edited
Right.
for other people. I do for myself now. But I still send it to a professional editor
Okay.
after I'm done torturing it.
So you
Yeah.
said also that you have your herbal,
Yes.
um and then what else
Oh yeah.
do
So the herbal, the magazine,
Mhm.
um, and then I started a company. Basically, it's really for my daughter for when she
Okay.
gets older. But
Okay.
it's called Jiley Media. It's gonna be. We started our own publishing company. And
Okay.
so yeah, but in that's where the author challenge is. That's where we're going to start this thing called Jiley's Floating Library, where
Okay.
basically, yeah, you send in, I haven't decided yet, like 3 books. You would mail us like 3 books. We're going to put a sticker in that book which has like your website and your information, and then it has a QR code for them to we want them to take a selfie with the book, but we're
Mhm.
going to send the book to like different locations, like a hair salon, a barbershop, the waiting
Wow.
areas where they have
Yeah.
magazines. Yeah. It's meant for it to be stolen. That's why we call it the floating library.
Right, right,
So,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we want the whole concept about that is to start a word of mouth marketing.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
that's so that we have to, and then I'm going to be teaching people how to publish, how to self-publish,
That's what I was
so that
gonna
they
ask
don't,
you
yeah,
next.
so
You
that they don't
start
get
like
scammed. Yeah,
training. Um,
writing. Yeah.
right.
Hmm.
Now, is this something that you're gonna be doing for free? Is this something for a small fee?
I'm
Because
trying to keep my fees low. Yeah.
not everything should be for free because you don't appreciate it.
Right.
Well, not everything, but not
Yeah.
yeah,
Right now, like the author challenge is the only thing that's you can say for free.
right,
Um, if they want to upgrade and get like a commercial, things like that, that's the only thing. But otherwise, they can participate completely for free. That's the only one. The only thing I can't say free. You're not paying me. You're buying other authors' books. And the reason why I didn't put a fee on it is because I want them to have. I don't want there any excuse why they can't afford to buy another author's book. So
correct.
yeah.
I feel, and I'm going to put that out there, that
Hmm.
this was a selfless act because it could have been buy authors' books for this price, and you have to
Pay a fee.
buy an ad,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
you didn't do that.
No, no.
So I bought an ad because I want to see me in there. So, but but if I was thinking, how is it going as far as with your magazine? Are you getting more um, readers? Are you getting more subscriptions?
It's
Is
not
it
well.
going to change?
Well, I guess like I've been spending most of my time pushing everybody else,
Right,
pushing
right,
everybody
of
else's
course.
book. Yeah. So I haven't really. It's like now that we're getting down to the end of it, now I'm kind of like more pushing my stuff. I was doing
Mhm.
that, and then also um, getting fixed up, get it pretty,
Okay. Okay.
and ready for the market.
Okay.
So, but yeah, after I get like I right now I'm working on Spirit. I've broken is finished. I'm just gotta lay it out and
Okay.
and
Okay.
and upload it. Yeah,
Now
and
with the magazine, how long has it been? You
oh,
know,
in publication,
yeah,
April will be the first year in
April.
April. Yeah,
April.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it's fairly new.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. It hasn't even yeah, April will be its first year. And
Okay.
that's the one you see the girl on the cover with the green turban.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I love that cover. That's probably one of my favorite covers.
Well, I like the color too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
So that
yes,
that helps.
yes.
So
Yes,
now
so it's one of the year.
it's been a journey. I'm pretty sure, even in this short time where we l- resurfaced a friendship that we had back in
Right.
middle school. Not only that, but we do have things in common, obviously, with our
Yeah.
writing. And I'm sure you've made new friendships this so that you started.
hmm
Um, what would you say um, that you would do different with this process, if anything?
For the author challenge,
Yes.
now I know like I'm keeping it to 10 people. Basically, it's 9 people. I put myself as a 10th person. Nobody gonna be
Okay.
last. I'll be last.
Okay.
And then also that's how I kind of like recoup my money as I'm in the circle. I'm in the group too.
Correct.
So
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. Um I I would have originally I was planning for this group to be like 30 of us.
I remember when it
Yeah.
started. Yeah.
I'm
Because
glad that I'm glad God stepped in.
well, you know what? He also says, "Don't do more than you can handle, and be careful what you
Yeah.
ask for."
Yes. 10 would have
Um,
been I mean 30 would have been crazy.
not
But
only your way to keep track of it.
keep track of everybody. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because
I love our group. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. So
and
this so I would keep it to 10.
there are a lot of so far the ones that have come out. The titles are excellent, and they're in
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the interviews that you've done, they're great.
Oh,
Um,
thanks.
I've watched two. I haven't been able to watch the other ones yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have them, lined up, but I definitely a good idea, and I was excited about it from when it first. Um, I was like, oh, yeah, I can't wait. And like already, we were like, yeah, that's a great, And then, so I was wondering, like I said, if anything, would you have changed anything?
I think God stepped in and
Hmm.
and sorted it out, and I like what He did.
Right? You like
Yeah,
think, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I think now the only thing is like I'm going to be using before when I started this, I didn't really have any kind of a platform.
Okay.
So that's why everything was done through our emails. Just the
You're right.
email.
Right.
So the thing different is now I have a platform that I'm going to use, and then and it just be easier for me to keep track. That way I know, okay, I did their interview, I did this, I did that.
Right.
I probably don't need to do the call. Remember, I had you guys call. We did a 30-minute phone.
Right. Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
believe we talked, and
Yeah.
then
That I was embarrassing. I was
that
like,
was
we
embarrassing.
sat there and and what was funny was we got along there, and then we just
Yeah,
hung up and went about our way,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it never clicked.
Never occurred. And the funny thing is, I think you said, was it, or did I mention I had a friend in middle school?
Yes. You know
I
what?
mentioned it,
Yep. You
and for a
did.
split second, I was like, her name is Val. I was
You know
like,
what? I never put two and two together.
yeah.
Even when because I don't remember you saying your name.
Probably not.
And
I just
so
jump in
because I would have
sometimes.
automatically remembered because as soon as I
Yeah.
got online and I said April I said, hold on. I was like this and then so when we spoke on the phone, I don't remember you saying the name because I think if you would have said, your full name, I would have.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe. I don't
yeah.
know.
I
Right.
don't know. No,
But I
because I saw your name and I was still like, that's a coincidence.
yeah, they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah." But no, that definitely. So now I had another question. Like for example, with
Mhm,
my children's book, it's not really a children's book. It is a book that everybody
mhm.
and anybody can read. But what I
Right.
was trying to do was expand it a little bit, where I went to a web page, and within
Mhm.
the web page have a coloring book, um,
Mm.
um, games, puzzles. I also have a what do you call that? The game, for people to play online. You
Right.
know, make it a
Right.
brand. So were you thinking of doing something like that where it's of a healing process?
Yeah, for how should I put this? I've noticed like the feedback that I've gotten from readers, I've gotten
Hmm.
a few who've been, sexually they either got raped or molested,
Correct.
and they were
Right.
actually able to talk about it after reading the book.
Right. Which is a
My
healing process.
intention, it's a yeah. For me personally, and then I had another girl who she's she it just completely helped her get out of a rut that she was in.
Right.
So, and it's not like a nonfiction self-help book. It's not that at all. It's
Right.
completely
Right.
fiction entertainment. Yeah,
Real.
yeah, yeah. But I've noticed with me, and I paid attention. Like I said, I pay attention to how I feel with my books. When I revised Endurance, I realized that it even helped me. Like I didn't
Hmm.
realize I was kind of depressed or in a funk. I would notice
Yeah.
like every day I was happy and cheerful and excited
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I was like, what is this book doing?
It's that healing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, with that being said, seeing that it's helping people,
Hmm.
um,
I would love to see it in some kind of like a shelters,
yeah,
like
that's
abused
what I'm
women
going to
shelters.
say. Now, when will you start that process, or have you already?
I don't know how to go about it. I would love to do that though. I would
Um,
really love to get the book in there.
the letter would be because you're self-published,
Hmm.
so a letter sending it to the location
Okay.
and to the director or whoever, and letting them know this is something healing, and
Hmm.
you can even go speak there.
Mm.
To that would be a great
That's
self-help.
it.
You
Thank
know,
you. Yeah. Thank you. I mean,
but I
know
would
how
love
to
to see
start that.
like yeah. Because I've done that with a couple of my books where I mailed it out just by whim, and somebody
Hmm.
actually contacted me back, and I was like, "Oh, you know,
Okay.
oh, I did this something, okay." So I think that would be great, with the letter, and then
Yeah.
explaining, and but the question is some people will be receptive, and some
Hmm.
people is it because they won't be able to understand, because
Mm.
it's our West Indian
Right.
culture.
Right.
So I was my next question to you was, is this a book that you're also going to write in English, so to speak?
Well, oh, you mean like just
Because we understand it,
yeah, yeah.
but you know, is it something
I
because
kind of want.
you want to
I would. Yeah. I get. See, I would kind of like people to
hmm
step out of their own box, learn
right,
about somebody else. I feel like your brain
yeah,
expands when you learn about a different culture. So
absolutely,
for example, I watch a ton of K drama, ton to the
right,
point that I am picking up Korean
right,
easier and faster. It's getting
then
kind of scary. Yeah,
right,
and but I like it because you learn about their culture,
right,
their habits, their traditions, and it's entertaining. It's something different. And I think I kind of would want people to kind of step out of that shell of always
yeah.
reading what they understand and read something different. Just be
So
step out of your box.
the reason why I asked is because one day, I had that I wrote, and
Mhm.
we being from the West Indian culture,
Mhm.
the gentleman asked me, "Am I willing to revise it?" It's great. I said,
Mhm.
"Revise what?" And he says, "Well,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
culture is different." And I said, "No, it has to be the way that I wrote it. If you can't accept it as
Yeah.
that, then I cannot and will not move forward."
Yeah.
So he goes, "Well, I'm gonna have to turn this down." I said, "Oh, don't be sorry because I'm not
Yeah.
gonna change
Yeah. To please you.
who I
Yeah.
am." Like, so that's why I asked you to see what your
Yeah.
thoughts were. Yeah.
It
And
would be weird. It would be weird because the uncles are from Trinidad.
right,
Max is kind of like us. Your
right.
parents are from Trinidad or from Haiti, and you grew up in that
But
home.
yeah,
There's
you're more
certain things,
Americanized. Yeah.
right? There's certain, like, even the food in the book. Like, I don't even know how would
You,
I translate?
right.
Yeah, the food is a part of the culture.
So if
So
someone
yeah,
did come to you and ask you that, what would your response be to, you know, that person?
um, hell to the no.
Straight to the point. Okay. Like, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, because like that would, to me that would kind of, would it ruin the story? No, but I think the story wouldn't be as
It wouldn't
interesting
be
and
the same.
unique.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
would have a different feel to it because it's a
Yeah.
different culture now.
Yeah.
And so
And
now,
certain things wouldn't work out. Some scenes probably wouldn't work out because it wouldn't make any
because
sense. Yeah.
well, to them it wouldn't
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of our culture.
Yeah.
So now, with all of the authors that you've met and
Hmm.
interviewed, um, what would you say was the hardest challenge in interviewing each person?
Oh, so what people don't know about me is I'm an introvert.
I know
So
that.
well, but just to do, like, this was easy. I was looking forward to this because
Me too.
like,
I was
oh,
like,
yeah.
I can't wait.
But normally for me, it takes me like, I have to build myself up. I have to hype myself up because I'm more comfortable behind the camera instead of in front of it. But
Correct.
then once I get out here, I have fun. Like, and then at the end, I'm like, oh, that wasn't so
Right,
bad.
right, right.
Yeah.
Because I
So it's
myself am
just
an
doing that.
introvert unless I'm around family, and friends,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah,
So I understand that. And
yeah.
so now my next question is, I have a lot of questions,
Oh,
but
go ahead.
right. So with all of the every book that you've written,
Hmm.
about what was that? Did you give yourself a deadline for each book?
No, I don't do the deadline game. I
Yeah.
mean, I think anything that creates stress creates writer's block. So yeah, so that's my rule of thumb.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah,
So.
yeah. So I write because sometimes, like we talked about, letting the characters speak to you. Like, sometimes the characters aren't speaking.
Um.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah, you decided to do your own thing and they're not happy with you. So you got you got
And
to
then
fix
your
the
book doesn't
situation.
go anywhere, and then you're like, "Oh, what happened?" Now,
Yeah,
have
yeah.
you ever had that situation where you wrote something and you didn't have the expected turnout, and what did you do, and how did you feel?
Oh, that was all of endurance. I didn't see that sucker coming. Like,
You're like,
there were
"Oh,
times when I wrote, I'm like, what?
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 Like what happened?" Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. May said what? Like,
Right.
um a perfect example would be where the scene where May goes to the party, uh and she's drinking whatever,
Right.
and Max comes into where she's at, sitting at in the
Right.
garden center.
Right.
So what led to that, I honestly, originally, it was going to be a very innocent romance story originally. I wasn't going to have any of the fun action stuff in it.
Yeah, that was really. uh, not quite. Yeah,
Yeah, it didn't happen.
yeah,
I started, yeah, one thing led to another, which is like real life, and it
you're right.
exploded.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So I didn't see that coming.
yeah. I didn't either.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay then. Hmm.
Oh,
But
another good one. Another
mhm.
good one was with
No, go
Tamaris. Okay, so Tamaris and Cressida. Some people say Cressida. I call
ahead.
her Cressida.
Yeah, when you say
Originally,
Cressida,
uh, originally Tamaris and Cressida were supposed to get together, get married, and live happily ever after. That
not
was my
quite.
intention.
Well,
The
yeah,
characters
that.
would just did not like each other in that way. Isn't that weird?
But
I fought.
it's it's something as a writer when the words speak to you, and you know
Yeah,
what it is you're supposed to write and how it's
yeah,
supposed to come out.
yeah,
So that in and of itself is a blessing.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so,
So,
I mean, you've laid the groundwork for us, and you have
thank
a
you.
lot of work ahead of you.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
um, that's a lot of work that you're doing. I don't know if people realize it, but the time that it takes to do interviews, editing, and still writing your book, and how
Yeah.
has how has it been working for you through this crazy 3-year pandemic, whatever that we've been.
Oh, see, okay. The irony is,
Hmm.
and maybe it's because I'm an introvert. The pandemic kind of worked for me because I couldn't work. I mean, I used to be a server, so I
Oh, okay,
couldn't.
okay.
Yeah, I couldn't work anymore. Oh,
Like,
oh, nay, nay,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, no, I'm gonna stay home. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta stay
So is
home.
that when you decided to start the Pandom magazine?
Yeah, we
And
started with, well, see, like we started with Greenleaf. So with Greenleaf, it started with my boyfriend. He used to smoke cigarettes, and
okay,
I wanted him to stop.
okay. Well, yeah.
And yeah, he said if you make something and it works, and we can see if it works or whatever.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, so I made the supplement for the lungs to clean out the
Right,
lungs.
right. Oh, by the way, the
Ironic.
product is sold out. Hmm.
Oh, oh yes, oh yeah, yeah. No, you know what? Just inbox me. I can send you a link.
Okay,
Yeah,
because I was
yeah.
like,
Yeah, no, it
I
goes.
think that was before we knew that we were talking to each other.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, yes. I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link.
okay,
I'll actually we just do an invoice. I'll say invoice.
okay, all right.
So yeah, so we made that supplement, or I made that supplement, and I'm giving it to him to try out. And we're noticing like now this is the thing. We think that he may have caught COVID. We think he may have been one of the first people before they really knew what
Oh,
was going on.
yeah,
Because with his job he travels. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, he came home sick and we couldn't figure out what was wrong. And they just kept telling, oh, you have a respiratory infection.
Gee.
And we couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. And then
Right.
this whole COVID. So he was sick for almost like a month. And then I made the supplement. He took the supplement and it
Hmm.
cut it like in a couple days. He's
Right.
been on it ever since.
He's
He
like,
did
oh,
eventually stop smoking. Yeah, it doesn't help you stop smoking. I'm just gonna put that out there. It does nothing for you.
or he's not ready to stop smoking.
And you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
he did, but I don't think that had anything to do with it. So, but yeah, but that's how it started. It started with that supplement, and then I made the tea to go with it, and
Ah,
then yeah, and then it's kind of like it helped in a lot of areas that we didn't think
all right.
would help.
That was gonna help. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that led to other stuff, and it just kind of. And then I make rice water. So for the hair, you ever heard
Okay.
of?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
To make it
Okay, just like how.
go quicker, right?
Yeah. So I make like I use black rice, I use jasmine rice, but we got into doing
Okay.
rice water a lot, and that stuff works.
Well, your hair's
It
always
really
been
does.
long anyway, so
Yeah, but the only problem with my hair is it's thin. It's just naturally thin. That's just how it is.
so is
My
mine.
daughter,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed with the rice water is it stays healthier. and
Okay.
it does grow faster. It does grow a lot faster. So,
Okay.
and it is thicken up a little bit, but it's never going to be as thick as I
And
want it. Yeah.
uh, iron be a possibility?
Is what?
Low iron.
Low could be. I didn't think
Mhm.
about that.
Yeah.
It could
Check into that.
be.
I'll tell you about that later. So now my next
Oh, okay.
question,
Okay.
because I have, um,
Go ahead.
my next question is, so basically, the pandemic has made you more creative
Yes.
and more, we'll say, profitable. You
It
know.
took me a lot more time to focus on my craft. It
Yeah.
really did. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it
Now,
wasn't for that pandemic, yeah.
now, would you say that after pandemic is over, whatever that may be, that you would want to return to the workforce, or would you? She's like, no. Mhm. Like, okay, then never mind. Okay. Now, where do you see yourself with the magazine and your books 2 years from now?
2 years from now, well, I would really like to see Pandem in print on newsstands. That would be
Okay.
nice.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I like to see it where people can easily have access to it and grab it. It won't just only be a digital magazine.
Right. Right.
Um, with I would like to see at least my first book a bestseller and on its way to be a movie. That would be nice.
I
That
think
would be great.
that's every writer's dream.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah,
want Pitbull Tales to be a movie. I wanted to be a cartoon.
yeah,
I wanted to be a
yeah,
whole list. And
yeah.
I just started working on my book, Depths of Forbidden Passion. Remember?
Ooh.
Um,
Oh yes, you're
yeah,
writing it.
yeah.
Oh my god.
After we spoke, you kind of gave me the incentive to start.
Yes, yes.
I'm on, I'm on that page one.
It's a start.
Yeah, I'm on page one. But I was
Yeah.
like, I wanted to start collaboration with
Hmm.
you. Soon, you know.
Hmm. Yeah.
Why?
I actually at one point had thought about giving up on writing. And this is like actually a couple months ago.
Oh,
Because and it's because it's hard. It's hard
okay.
trying to get your book marketed, trying to get it sold, trying to make consistent sales. And
Correct.
you
Yeah.
reach a point where it's like you feel like you hit a wall because
Yeah.
it costs a lot. I don't think people really talk about how much it costs to
Yeah.
do this. We
Um,
don't. Yeah.
what I was gonna ask you was, you know, but I wrote mine. I
Mhm.
it's published
Mhm.
out on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. I've yet to do a book signing, and I've yet to do anything yet because I haven't found the right time,
Right.
to do that with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but then I go and I see, people have a bestseller or it, so we can do it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all about prioritizing our time and basically not giving up. It was a reader that reached out to me that inspired me to not give up, and I don't
Good.
think they realized it. They didn't realize it how I was feeling at that time, and I said that
Right.
had to be God. But
You're right.
it came and yeah, and that's what led to the revision. Like, don't give
Well,
up,
I'm
even if you
glad
feel
that
this
I
way.
gave you the little pep talk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm
Definitely, I definitely would reach out to one of the directors in the Women in Distress
mm,
and just start there and don't stop.
yeah. You're
You know,
right. Yeah, you're right.
because we sit there,
You're,
you have it's good, and then yes, it's digital,
hmm.
but
Yeah,
make it more tangible. You have to
yeah. And I
promote.
have the printed book should be coming out soon.
Good, good.
Yeah. I mean, this it's on Amazon, but anybody listening, I would prefer if you buy it from our website only because Amazon hasn't updated it as yet. So once it's updated, I don't care where you get it. But
Right.
yeah, yeah, they
Yeah.
haven't updated their the files are there. It just hasn't been updated. So
Well,
yeah.
hopefully It'll
Yes.
be soon. So get
Yes.
that letter prepared to
Yes.
women in distress and
Ah,
start getting it
that
out
is
there.
so smart. You're freaking a genius. I didn't.
Well, that's what my mom says, but I don't know.
Oh.
I'm a genius, but I don't know. I don't know. But no, definitely. But what
No,
you've written,
that's smart though.
no, what you've written is a healing, process. What you've written is
Yeah.
something that will help people, and they need to hear that
Yeah.
or read it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
this is gonna help them, So
Yeah.
if you do yours, I'll do mine.
Okay. Okay. It's a deal.
So, let's say today is February something. Uh,
27th.
yeah, thank you. Today's the 27th. Let's do it March 1st. No excuses.
March
And we have
1st.
to send the letter to each other to show that we actually did send it.
Okay.
We got to,
Okay. Wait, so we just do it to women in distress, or well, for you would be
well,
something with pimples.
somebody. I'm gonna send it
Yeah.
somewhere.
You
But yeah, we just send it
okay.
out, and and God will take care of the rest for us.
Okay. Well,
You know,
you got to help me write that letter because I don't know what to say on that letter.
I got you. I
Okay.
will. No problem doing that. And because I have to write mine too, so we'll be
Yeah.
writing them together. Okay. But we
Okay.
just have to put it out on March 1st because that's the beginning of
Of
the
the new
new
month.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we start off with blessings and favor, going
Yes.
out.
I
So we
like
can
this
get
challenge.
yes.
Yes.
You
Oh,
know,
and it's a good idea. I never thought about it, but yeah, I always feel like if I could get it into the hands of women who've been through some stuff and can
yeah,
read it and get some hope, you know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I know it's
don't
all
stop
fictional
there,
characters, but
because I mean, with the book, you have
hmm
the cover page that can be
hmm
t-shirts and cups and hats. You
yeah.
know, start that brand and
I
let
started putting the Trini words, the Trini saying words on a
yes.
shirt. Did you see? I don't know if you saw it. I posted it.
No,
Um,
on the Facebook you posted it?
I posted it on Facebook, but it's on the website on aprilathomas.com.
Okay,
It's on the
'cause I
website.
haven't been I haven't been on Facebook and online a lot because I've been training for my position at work.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, you don't get it.
but
It's on my website.
I'll be a professional soon, so I won't have to be training out. I'm joking,
Okay.
but no, definitely I think that's a good idea to get your stuff out there because we don't only
Yeah,
have one avenue. We have many different avenues to get our stuff out there. Like you said, and the
yeah,
pricing. You just told me about Canva. So I'm
yeah,
gonna try that and see how it
yeah.
works. And I would love to
Yeah.
see
You'll
our
love
book
it.
as a movie.
Yeah. Wait, what'd you
Get
say? You
that
broke
book
up.
as a movie.
Oh,
No, I would love to see that book as a movie.
I know. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I always try to think
Yeah,
of
so,
who I'd have act out different roles and stuff. But
well, I'm an introvert, so you can leave me out. I'll be in the back scenes.
I'll be back there with you.
So, if you had your final words when the Arthur Challenge is over, or will it ever be over, or will it be something continual?
I would
What would you
like. Sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
like? So it's a two-part question.
Okay.
Will the Arthur Challenge continue?
hmm
And if it doesn't, what would be your last advice that you would give to all out there aside from what we told them earlier?
Oh, well, yes, it's going to continue.
Okay.
I'm going to try to make it monthly. It depends on how fast I can build a group together.
Okay.
Um, and my advice to
Yeah.
authors, one, of course, don't give up. Two, learn, learn, learn. Learn everything you need. Talk to other authors. If they don't want to talk to you, come talk to me. I'm happy to tell you.
They don't
I'm
want to
happy
talk
to
to
tell
you.
you everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Right? but I love I do love helping other people, get their dream out there, get their passion out there, because I know what it's like. So I normally have good ideas, or I might know somebody who has better.
Right.
The other thing
Resources.
the other most important thing I would really want authors to look into is, yes, we're artists, we are word artists, but
Yeah.
our art is also our business. And I don't think we understand that side of it. Yeah. So learn business. Like with my daughter, I'm already telling her when she hits college,
Mhm.
whether she knows what she wants to take or not, one of the things I want her to take is business. I think
Correct.
it's a foundation tool, and I think everybody
It
should
is.
take business. Our
I
country's
just
business.
finished mine. I
Yep,
finished my master's. Yeah.
yep,
Um,
yep.
my next, and I promise my final question, maybe.
Whatever.
'Cause I'm like,
I'm having fun.
I'm like, now with this process, with the magazine and you having to edit and post, don't you, I would say, always need help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I've learned, what
You're
I've
like, yeah.
learned, yeah, I need help. But what I've
Mhm.
learned is, for me, the problem is I don't always know how to translate. It's almost
But
like,
yeah.
it's funny. I speak English. It's the
Right.
only language I know besides the other little pieces of other,
Right.
patois, Creole, other things that I know little pieces of, right?
Right.
But for some reason, I can actually pick up other language faster than English.
Mhm.
It's weird. That's why I'm picking up Korean a lot easier
Hey.
and I'm learning Chinese on top.
Oh,
Everything I'm
okay.
doing, I'm learning Chinese too. Yeah, don't
Okay. Congratulations. I'm just
right,
thinking
right,
Creole and English right now.
right.
And my little bit of Spanish, yes.
These little Spanish, Chiquito.
Un poquito.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me, it's hard to translate, to explain to somebody else, okay, this is what I need. And
Mhm.
then this is how I want it. Because even when I make a post, a social media post, there's a certain look that I'm going for,
Correct.
because
Yeah.
there's certain things that attracts the eye.
Of
So
course.
yeah, so for me, it's like almost I'd have to train that person to be a replica of my marketing style, for me to trust that they can, like I say, okay, I need you to post stuff about endurance, and I know that they're gonna post exactly what I would post, and it's not gonna be an issue. It's hard. Like I would really have to train somebody to do that. So it's kind of a mission for me, at least.
Okay.
But yeah, I do need help. I do need help because there's a lot of things. There's a lot of other things that I could need help on that
Right.
like editing the videos. I never edited videos before. I had to learn. So now y'all know all the videos. I don't know what the hell I was doing. Okay.
Hold on. Okay, well, we'll just work this out. Yeah. Yeah.
Just cut right.
Right. But the thing is,
Yeah.
everything is a learning process, but you're willing to learn. So that can
Yeah.
show people, that's something they can learn also,
It
and
is. You
my
can do all this stuff on your own. Yeah.
right.
You can. It's not. It doesn't hurt to hire help.
Correct.
If it was different, and see, this is the thing, when you have something where you don't. I'm trying to keep my prices reasonable, because I've been in other author things similar, and it was so expensive.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I ended up dropping out. They're charging me. I gotta pay like $50 a month to be in their circle, and then on top of being in the circle, they want me to download this program that's
Right. For
$600 a month.
another, yeah.
And that,
For
I'm like, are you?
another,
I'll be homeless. Yeah.
and I think what they're not keeping in mind is, you're
You tell
still
me,
there,
baby. Yeah.
and things cost. I understand
Yeah.
that they make money as well, but a lot of the pricing,
But
like you said, sometimes I think it's a bit outrageous,
you're
and
right. Yes.
unnecessary.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But yeah,
Yeah.
that
And anything where it comes to where someone has to pay something that's almost like a rent or a mortgage per month on top of
yeah.
their own living expenses, you can't do that to people. And
Well,
you
no,
got to
I
start
mean
with baby steps.
their rent. You're paying their bills, basically.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they're gonna be fine. You don't want to be sleeping on the
you
street.
know, and then with those, I promise this is my last question. I promise. With those
Girl, you
companies,
go ahead.
with those companies that you did sign up for, and like the subscriptions that you had and things of that nature, did you find that there was anything that you were getting, um, any sales generated, any, you know?
Okay. So there was one that I signed. I'm not gonna say her name, but there was one that I
Okay,
signed up to. Um, and she had you like do kind of like you had like a free 30-day trial or whatever. It was something like
okay,
that, and she gave you like some steps. So the first one, and it worked. The first thing she told you to do was like if you're raising money, for example, I'm still trying to raise money for a book that I'm writing called Forbidden.
okay,
I
okay,
finished the book. Yeah, I
yeah,
finished the book. Half of it is edited. It's just the other half isn't edited, and it's not cheap because I didn't cut corners on getting it edited. I went to straight to the top.
right,
Um, so I'm still trying to raise money for the second half of this book. But what she said is like, okay, you post a book on social media and say, hey, would anybody like to be in my book? And I was like, the words are kind of a little bit misleading because if you think be in somebody's book, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to be a character in the book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
What does that mean? So no, she means like they're going to be like basically on the like the dedication page, like thank you or something like that. And
Really?
I was like, kind of like, it's kind of misleading, but I'm going to throw caution to the wind because again, I want to see if this really works.
You're right.
I did it and I probably raised $100. But me being the type of person I am, feeling like me just slapping a thank you on a paragraph is not enough. I decided
Yeah.
I want to make like a whole page so in that book Forbidden, there's just like I have the pages in Endurance. But the only difference is at the bottom it'll say, for example, this page is dedicated by, such and such, whoever sponsored. So that's where for me, because you know what, I got to sleep at night, and I felt like,
just a thing. Okay,
yeah.
Now, my next question to that is so when Endurance, I like how you did the vocal instead of a type. That was more engaging.
Okay, good. Yeah,
I like
I
that.
thought it would be cool for.
Yeah.
I mean, like I thought I put myself in it. I thought it'd be cool if I opened up a book and the author is the one telling me about, okay, this is what we're going to get into. I even thought about putting it in some of the chapters, like, oh, girl, did you see what just happened?
That's cute. That's
that's
a good idea. Yeah. So you're saying that these steps actually kind of worked. So for some part, so much so.
It works, but I feel like I don't like to do anything that's deceptive or misleading.
Right.
So you have to tweak things. After that, after the 30 days were up, and but that like, okay, I'm like, well, you know what? I made $100 off of what she told me. So I'm going to continue to see, but everything, each step just got more and more expensive till she wanted you to download some program. And it's not anything, I'm sure she gets kickbacks, but the bulk of the money, of course, is going to that company. But the thing was one was $300 a month. Another one was $500 a month. I'm like, where the hell am I getting this money? Yeah.
Right. I guess from the thank yous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I liked her thing, and I liked what she was saying, but my thing is that not everybody can do that.
Correct.
And I'm not saying what she's telling you doesn't work.
Right.
When you got to really be aware, you have to be honest with yourself.
Right.
The type of book you have, like my book, I know is not something that's mainstream. It's not.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah. So I can't expect it to just go out and be successful. It's probably going to be a certain amount of people that's going to like it. And then that's it. Like I have to be prepared for that. So you gotta just be real with yourself when you get into marketing stuff. Yeah. And I always say, like, not everybody's gonna like your book.
true. That's
You'd be
also
nice.
saying not everybody's gonna like you. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
goes hand in hand, and that's fine.
It's
But
fine.
it's to a number of people, or
You
the
only
math.
need 1%. You
Yeah.
only need 1%. That's it.
Well,
Even
I'm gonna
half of
keep
that
it going.
1%.
Everybody like it.
Yeah.
We like it, and we'll make it. We'll make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
You
has
know?
definitely been a pleasure. I've enjoyed every moment. I'm glad I got to
Me
interview you.
too.
I learned lots,
Yes.
and I'll
Yes.
still be learning. And I
Uh,
will be contacting you tomorrow
okay.
about our letter.
Yes.
I know
Yes. Let's do
email is
this.
the best way to contact you, and me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Call me or yeah, call me, email me,
Okay.
whatever.
I'll
Yeah.
probably end up emailing you because I'll be at work, and then
Yeah. It'd be
yeah,
easier.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know how that is.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for interviewing me.
Allowing me to interview.
I have fun.
I did. So I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for giving me that opportunity and to
Yeah.
ask me questions. And I can't wait till it's shown on.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
Okay. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.